This is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This is not an easy video for me to do. Usually I can joke around about this stuff, but I'm getting pretty close to just having about enough of all this stuff. That's why I'm doing a combination video here. I'm going to be doing two separate ones. So this video has to do with Jeffree Star. You're probably familiar with Jeffree Star. You know, he does the makeup tutorials, always trending on YouTube. He dresses like, yeah. And Lil Nas X, who I've covered many times over, and there isn't a ton to cover in the video as far as symbols go. Well, there's a few things that you need to see, because it's pretty ridiculous. The entire video itself is just, it might as well be a XXX film. And people are like, oh, you're a boomer. Oh, come on, Cole. I've never seen anything more repulsive. And if you saw, I can't even show you the screenshots because I'm just not gonna, because then I would just be, I just can't. I can't even look at it myself, let alone, anyone out there who might stumble upon this as a child, so you don't need to see this stuff. But let's just say it's about a prison. So we'll start with Lil Nas X. He's in prison. There's just nothing but references to men fornicating. And, I easily could be baited in here and just start railing on the entire lifestyle and all that stuff, and I'm not going to do that because that's just an easy way to get censored, and because it's just, we know what we're living in now. We're living in Sodom and Gomorrah. It's pretty plain and simple. Every time you try as a Christian to talk to somebody about this stuff, they don't listen to what you have to say. It has nothing to do with the preference. I don't care what these people are doing behind closed doors. It's the in-your-face constantness of it. And then they come back and they have some type of defense of it, of how kids need to learn this because of people like me or people like you. And it's like, no, they don't. No, they don't. Okay? And then they bring bullying and stuff like that into it. Everybody's been bullied in their life. If you haven't been bullied, consider yourself unlucky, because it means you're a pretty soft person and you're probably just relying on Big Brother to come in and hand you everything and wipe your rear end, which is exactly how this new world order is going to come about, which is already here. But the younger generations are so used to being pampered, everything being censored, so they don't have to deal with anything. And that's exactly what Big Brother wants, so that they can come in and give them everything they need. As long as their phones work and they can play video games and live in virtual reality and not ever address the real world, then they'll all be fine. So let's look at Lil Nas X here. There's some disturbing stuff, other than, of course, the obvious, which is guys bending. It's just a high. I'm surprised the video wasn't filled with Hershey Kisses, but it was filled with a guy who did get the electric chair. Lil Nas put the electric chair on him, and that's pretty much how the audience felt watching it. That's exactly what I wanted to do when I saw clips from the video. I was wishing I was in his place. But unfortunately, I wasn't, and I had to endure this. So they have a shower scene, which might as well just be an XXX film. I get it, they blur out the actual private parts, but even at this point, I remember being younger, when they would blur stuff out, they put black over them, or like a complete censor thing over them. Now they're just at the point where they just kind of ruffle it, it's practically like being complete. The next step is going to be what they have, which is going to just be completely showing you everything. You've already seen it with, and this doesn't just go with the LGBT, this goes with, Nicki Minaj, and all the other videos that I've covered, and Cardi B, butt naked on YouTube, by the way. No problem. YouTube's censoring people for misinfo. They're censoring anyone who even just brings up some of these topics, whether they're pro or anti-jab. They're bringing everybody, their channels down and stuff like that. But in this case, when it comes to nudity and stuff, it seems fine on YouTube with these celebrities doing it. So everybody's in the shower. I'm sure soap's being dropped. It's just, rubbing it in your face, rubbing it in your face. There's references left and right, empty pockets, making references to, grabbing private parts. So let's just get past that, because this is what I want to talk about here. So obviously everybody knows, the scene, and it's kind of a play off of Shawshank Redemption, right? He hit the little rock axe, the rock hammer he had inside the Bible. Well, here he's given the Book of Montero. Remember Montero, by the way? The music video where he's given a lap dance to Satan. Just the world we live in now. At the time, was it shocking? No. Because of everything I've exposed, would anyone be shocked? No. No one should be at this point, because it's just going to continue to get worse and worse. But anyway, the Book of Montero, right? He hands it to him. Now you see, obviously, on the book here, everybody's familiar with the chakra. Everyone's familiar with yoga. Everyone's familiar with the third eye, the meta-axis or meta-axis. Aleister Crowley teaches about this. This is one of the things that Crowley teaches about in his book, about accessing this and how to access your third eye and this spirituality stuff that has crossed over into Christianity, which is a massive no-no. But Christians continue to be brainwashed into spirituality as far as New Age and New Ageism. This is just another form of it. With the chakra and the third eye, and they tell you, oh, it's the Godhead. This is all occult stuff. So he gets the book, and you can see it too in the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, right? So anyway, he gets the book. It says the Book of Montero. So I was like, all right, well, I mean, what is this Book of Montero nonsense? Anyway, that they keep marketing with the Montero. So I look it up, and Sony has a website for Little Nas's Book of Montero. And you go there, and you put your name in, right? So I went there, as you can see on the screen. I put my name in. See it right there on the screen? Yeah, it's a little, different kind of font they have there, but they want you to put your name in. So I put that in as my name. And then this is what pops up when you click submit. This is what I got, a nice little message from the Book of Montero, which of course is just mocking the Bible, which Jeffree Star does as well, which I'll get into here. But it says, shoot a child in your mouth while I'm riding. 109 Montero, chapter 1, just a little Bible mockery. But this is the Book of Montero. So in this book, you can shoot a child, in your mouth while you're riding. Yeah. I wonder what that's referencing, right? So that got my blood boiling, which is why I didn't do a video when this first came out. And I was just like, I don't even think I can cover it because I'm just going to be really livid. So I let a couple days pass. I'm still really livid, as you can hear from how I'm breathing right now. But you could read it and see for yourself. And I wonder what he's referencing, right? That doesn't sound like anything that's, perverse or anything like that. Just absolutely repulsive. So that's what they want people to do, right? Go to the website, submit it. Submit your name, they give you a little thing. It's more Bible mockery, which is what they're, this is what they're getting away.
Y'all wouldn't have seen a stolen truck with it. Stolen truck, broad daylight.
No, wait, this is what's making me livid. With everything that's going on, it's like it's so one-sided. It's like, oh, well, you guys can't talk about this stuff. It's hateful, it's this or that. But we can bash what you believe in. We can bash Jesus. We can bash the Bible, right? And then when it comes to other religions, we're not going to bash that. We're just going to bash you guys, right? And then when we try to say anything back, and even though no one's saying we want any acts done to you, we're just saying we don't, this is how we were raised, is what we believe in. And obviously, from everything you see, there's nothing natural about what we're seeing as far as the behavior of a certain group of people. It's not so much about the actual act, it's the behavior. This is part of the mind control and the psychological operation, which nobody wants to believe is going on. So, he gets the pickaxe, he breaks out. But the long story short here is it's just, they show a guard, a security guard, who's, he's lusting over Montero's video. It's just nuts, all it is. It's just men, it's raining men, as a call for glitter kittens once said. So that's what the video is about. And then, of course, Jeffree Star comes out with his thing, Pink Religion, I believe is the name of it. Let me just make sure I have it right before I vomit on myself. Let me Google it. Oh, we're just doing it in real time. Jeffree Star, Pink Religion. Now, I wrote a comment on Jeffree Star's channel, but I took the quote down because I didn't want anyone to get really upset or hurt. You might say, Call, you should have left it up. Well, I'm sure I probably would end up with a strike somehow from the comment because anything I seem to say, it's like they can joke about certain stuff. I can't joke about certain stuff. You can't joke about certain stuff. They can say, well, you're not joking. We are. And it's just a back and forth of nonsense. That's why there's such a problem with this censorship crap. These softies are just asking for it, and then they don't realize that there's going to be a point in time where they're choking around. They're going to say, no, not anymore. And we warned them about Big Brother, and they just want to feed off the hand of Big Brother and play their video games until there's a time where they pull the plug on that. And the virtual reality that they want to live in is gone. And they're living in reality, and it's going to be a lot different than what they see right now. I'll tell you that. A lot different. So, Jeffree Star, of course, here. Now, I don't care. Obviously, they're mocking Jesuits, which is fine. They're just, the whole thing they're doing with this. But it's a mock of the Bible, right? It's a Bible. It's supposed to be a Bible, just like the Book of Montero. right? What do you do in a prison? Obviously, people have Bibles in the prison. The Book of Montero, mocking the Bible. Like I said, Shawshank, the Bible. He hit the hammer in there, and that's what he did in this. Same here. Look, here's a Bible, and of course, like I just covered with, some Fifth Harmony singer, right, doing the Last Supper. Well, he's doing the Last Supper too, right? That's what they're referencing here. It's constant mock, and this is like 3 days, just the last 3 days, this kind of stuff. And that's why I constantly am saying, how do people not see that it's an attack on Christianity? Well, they go, well, it's because you're the ones who are hateful, and it's the liberals. It has nothing to do with politics. This has to do with spiritual warfare. And everything that we thought we were like, when you wake up, I think one of the first things you say is like, how are people going to realize this stuff and then side with the other side? Because they made us into the villain in everyone's mind. They made the God of our God, the God of the Bible, the villain. That's how Satanists interpret it, and now that's how the world is interpreting it. Everything's inverted, right? They read the Bible backwards, but now they're teaching people that. No, not to read it from the last verse to the first, to look at it the other way. To look at it as, oh, Satan wasn't so bad, he shouldn't have got cast down. Oh, he was misunderstood. Well, just like I misunderstood with my gender, that's what they're doing with society. And that is I can't believe that people don't see it. But hey, when I woke up, I was like, I don't understand, in Revelation it talks about people yelling and screaming and defying God, even when God comes. Well, look at the world around you now. Now you can see how that's going to happen, because it's a prideful, self-worship world where people, even when God comes down, are going to think that they can defeat God. And that's what people message me who are new to their awakening process. They call, I don't understand if they know that God's, that wins. They don't think that God is going to win. They think they're going to defeat him through pride and arrogance, the devil's downfall. So anyway, pink religion here is just another mockery, right? So this is obviously a double standard. That's not what the video is about. It's not about me going, well, how come they can do this and not get censored? I'm aware of why they can and why we can't. But I'm here to show you, and people who are young or might stumble upon this, that they're constantly showing you God and mocking God. Because this is Satan's world. He's the one they worship. God is their enemy. And that's why they've made Christians look the way they look in the media. That's why most pastors talk the same way, monotone. It's part of the CIA evangelical movement that they created with the television to push and pump these money-preaching preachers out there to make people, oh, these guys are disgusting. Oh, and they all fit the same mold, right? None of them have a backbone. Every time somebody confronts them or they see anything, people mocking God, they want to kiss them, hug and kiss them. And I'm not saying that that's a wrong thing to do. I know what the Bible says about loving thy neighbor. But some people aren't your neighbor. A lot of these people have already made a decision and decide. Jeffree Star is beyond saving. And don't say, well, I understand anyone can be saved. These people are so deep-rooted in the occult, they are not turning back. And if Jeffree Star does get saved, good for him. But guess what? You're not going to see it promoted on YouTube that he turns back into his old self, he transforms back, and he speaks about all the evil that he was involved in and why he was doing it and what happened and how he's found Christ. That's never happened. So can he find salvation on his own? Sure. Can he be saved? Of course. Anyone can be saved. But these people have made a decision, and they're working as hard as they can to lead as many souls to hell. Why? Because that's their job. You think that this matrix, this bull crap you hear about, oh, you could do this, you could do that. You can only do and achieve these things if you're in it. I'm a great example of it. Look at my channel. Wouldn't I be a big YouTuber? I have a couple million subs by now. I have 500,000 subs my first year. They didn't want this out there. They don't want a voice like mine. And that wasn't the goal of my channel, so I don't care. That's why I keep building these out. I don't care about that. You can't achieve certain things without being a part of it. Can you be really good at singing? Yes. Can you have a band on your own? Yes. Are you going to be on television, singing at the Super Bowl? No, you're not. Can you be a good athlete? Sure. Can athletes slip through the cracks? Of course. But you're not going to be promoted like LeBron James and these certain athletes are, and constantly, instead of even talking about anything else, it's just constantly the greatest ever. Because this is how it works. They pump these people, they push it. They want you to worship and then want to act and emulate them. That's the system. So these people like Jeffree Star and Little Nas, this is their job. It's not, oh, they're so talented, they made it and they're making money. Their job is to lead souls. That's why they constantly talk about God and the devil. That's why they constantly push the devil and they push us as the bad people because we don't agree with something. And in reality, if they just did this stuff and lived this way, that's, my response to it all is that's your sin to bear. I'm not saying one sin's worse than the other. I'm not here to pass that judgment. The problem is that this is beyond that. This is a whole different thing. This isn't about the act. This is about the in-your-face, the lifestyle, the convincing, the persuading. I mean, I was looking at, streams yesterday of, I've never done this before. I was looking at, gamer channels and stuff. I just put in live shows, and I was looking at stuff. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, what they're talking about. It's almost like they speak a different language, and they're like, oh, you're a boomer. They don't have a perception of anything that's going on. They are so dumbed down. That's why the youth is so important. You're the last line of defense. I'm not going to be here. All of us might not be here much longer. But, I'm not a young pup. And even if I do live a longer period of time, I'm not going to be able to reach people who are in their teens. Because I'm going to be foregone. You think they consider me a boomer now or whatever, even though I'm very technologically savvy. I really don't care about nicknames or slander or any of that stuff. Imagine what they'll consider people like me in 10 years if we're still here. Forget it. Let alone the fact that we won't have platforms to speak. So it's so important to show people this stuff and make them realize this and how they've turned God into the enemy. That's why there's so many young people out there who are like, none of my friends want to listen. None of my friends believe in God. Don't you think there's something about that? Why are they always talking about God and the devil? And then why is it removed in the school? And why is science pushed in the school? Because they want to pull you away from God. And then when you see this stuff, they're like, oh, Jeffree Star, and these people are like, we're just making fun. It's not really real. We don't believe in God or the devil. That's what they tell you. Then why are you talking about it so much? I don't believe in the tooth fairy. I don't recall having a video on the tooth fairy, let alone ever having a conversation with the tooth fairy with anyone I know. I didn't call a friend or my mom and say, hey, do you believe in the tooth fairy? Yeah, no. Why are they so obsessed? Because they want to lead you away. And they're rewarded every time a soul is led to Satan. But those souls can still be pulled back home. That's what this channel is here for. That's why I encourage people to stay subscribed to all my channels. Become a patron if you can. If not, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I'll still be here. I'm not going anywhere as long as I have a tongue in my mouth. They can put me behind bars. I'll still scream and I will sing the Lord's praises and I will scream and I will fight till my last breath. That's how God made me. Whether anyone likes it or not, that's the way it is. And you're going to have to deal with it. I appreciate all of you greatly. I appreciate all of your support. I thank everyone for being here. I hope this video was helpful. I didn't really know I was going to go down that road. While doing it, I have a few notes here just with the things I wanted to make sure I covered, which was obviously just the agenda, right? Just shoving it down your throat, the mocking of God. Those are the main things, right? Montero's website, right? Talking just disgusting, vulgar stuff. And as we continue forward, these things are going to become more and more normal. It's scary. I appreciate all of you greatly. Again, if you guys haven't joined the website, please consider doing so at callfornuprising.com. At the very least, the forum alone is worth it. The support of the channel helps. Being a patron helps. So just being here, thumbsing up the videos. Please make sure you do that as well. And subbing to my other channels helps. If you like to listen to me every day, then you don't have to worry about, hey, where's Call? Well, if I get a strike, I can't upload, and I can't tell you I got a strike because you're not allowed to upload. So if you like to listen every day, just take the 2 minutes out of your time, sub to those channels, which are pinned in the comment section and in the description box if you're still listening. And let me know if you're still listening too. I don't know how long people get in the video. Some people listened to my last video and I said that and commented. I was like, wow, wasn't that many, but that's really nice that people listen that far into it. But make sure you sub to those channels and click the bell. And man, we are at war. This is spiritual war, and this is just getting worse by the day, folks. But can't get worn down. Just can't get worn down. Got to keep going. So I appreciate all of you greatly. Thank you for your support. God bless you and your families.
How can you weigh the truth of a statement unless it's made under oath?
Use your brains.
What is Black Twitter?
People on Twitter who are black,
How do I get on it?
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill
say comedy's hard.
Ah. Your Honor, my first time in court.
Welcome, counselor. Everybody remembers their first time.
You just pretend to be dumb to get everyone